All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Speed Gaming 4. You are looking live at the screens of Alsoa and CaffyJD. They are matched up in a 1-0 matchup in week 2 of the Swiss rounds of the 2023 Zelda 1 Randomizer Random Percent Tournament. This promises to be a really great matchup between two really good runners. So I'm very happy to be joining you, calling the match. I am bbq.gov, and I am very, very happy to have with me in the booth CD Improv. CD, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, thanks, BBQ. How are you doing today?
I am doing much better now that I'm here with you and the runners and our folks in the background, Trenton and Smilefires, doing the tracking and the setup. We have a 1-0 matchup, including one of the people who beat me in my first round matchup last week and beat me pretty solidly. So this promises to be a really fun matchup between two really good racers and two really good guys.
Yeah, I mean, both of these guys they're really solid in their technical skills. Now, if I'm Alsoa, I'm kind of hoping to see Second Quest because he's one of our few runners that doesn't dislike it with a fiery passion. Oh, look, that's a very free white sword just sitting there next to our start screen.
Wow. Okay, so good news, bad news. Good news, white sword item is the white sword, which implies certain things about what our random percent shuffle is. Bad news, that start screen is terrible.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit problematic, but, as long as, the overworld's not too terrible, you can get out of there. We do have a brown entrance to Vanilla Level 3, which means that we have first quest mixed money.
And that is good news for the runners, because that means 3 large secrets, as opposed to the second quest money situation, which only has 1 large secret, and those are replaced as we're just finding all the levels. We found level 2, we're finding level 9. So where was level 9? Level 9 was at the vanilla potion shop, just below Death Armos.
That's not terrible. I mean, that's pretty close to start. So when you're done, you can up an A, go to the fairy fountain, fill up, and then head right into 9. It's pretty easy.
That is pretty handy. On Alsoa's side, Alsoa's going to take this heart, which is has 2 pieces of information. 1, extra candles are not turned on. So when the runners find the wood sword cave, they know that the white sword item is the white sword, but they will not have the option to grab a blue candle out of that cave. And the other good news out of that is that with 4 hearts, white sword is 1 screen away from. What do we got?
It wasn't a heart. It possibly was a power bracelet because it was small. We couldn't see. Nothing appeared on his B buttons. He didn't change color, and there's no A in that key symbol.
And you guessed correctly. That's exactly what it is. So we got a quick peek at the Triforces. And we don't really know what those are. That is either 2 or 3, and that is either 7 or 8, depending on whether we have first quest, mixed, or second quest dungeons.
Another thing to pay attention to is apparently we have a boomstick seed. When the power bracelet shows up underneath the Armos, especially that vanilla Armos, it sometimes means that the shuffle any roads flag didn't turn on, and so they're all going to be vanilla. Saves you some time in having to check a couple of those, and then you can just check all those pesky second quest spots instead.
Yep, and there, if you missed it the first time on Caffey's side, there's confirmation of the boomstick seed, and it's also confirmation of vanilla cave prices, with the 60 for the candle, which our runners are going to have to buy, or find the red candle in one of the dungeons. But they're probably going to end up buying that blue candle for 60 rupees.
Yeah, I mean, 60 is not bad. I've seen like almost 80 rupee candles before on very short money. Also, now knowing that he's going to have to buy the candle is starting to pick up some of these secrets. He's up to 60. He could probably go get it. He's going to get his power bracelet here and then up a save. Probably try that white sword, maybe, if he remembers it's there, but apparently not. And yeah. Caffey's going to do it, and sadly 4 hearts is not enough.
Okay, I mean, if I see and this may be just me mixing up the flags, but if I'm the runners and I see that white sword is the white sword item, and I see vanilla prices, I'm seeing things that tend to indicate that we may be likely to have other parts of the seed be vanilla as well. Like, for example, the number of hearts that's required to pick up the white sword and mags. That seems to be a flag that's off sometimes.
To answer a question in chat, actually there's 2 questions in chat. Maybe we rolled no starting on him. That is actually very possible because it's a possible starting item. And to answer, can the white sword be 5 hearts? So that white sword, as long as the value has changed, can be anywhere between 4 to 6 hearts. 6 guarantees that you're going to be able to pick up. 5 is what you would have to have in the vanilla game. And every so often you get lucky and it's 4.
And that is fun times when that happens. As Alsoa has found the Blue Ring Shop, it is 1 screen northeast of Vanilla Start. I don't believe... Yeah, I think most runners have checked Vanilla Start. The wood sword's not there. So that means the wood sword's going to be somewhere in an open cave.
As Alsoa is going to find level... Also, I'll go back in. I need to see a little bit more. Also, is going to find level 7 here under a burn bush. And we might either have shapes or first quest. Because I don't think that's where that door going up should be if that was second quest 7.
I think you're right. I think that might have to be in the corner of that reverse swirl that is 7. I think it might have to be 1 screen over to the right.
Sounds pretty good to me, but I won't know for sure until he actually goes back in and we get a better look at it. When both of our runners entered level 2, they were in and out so fast that it was kind of hard to see anything, so...
Yeah, that can be a challenge. One thing that jumped out to me when we took a quick peek into, and I have no idea if this is just correlation or if this is actually linked, but the color palette of that dungeon looked like Vanilla First Quest 2.
So Rick actually touched on this the other day. Sometimes that
good.
happens when sometimes that actually happens when the Triforces roll into the Triforce rooms. And oh my gosh, Caffy was so close to being able to buy that book. But yeah, sometimes it is an indication that you're in a first quest dungeon because it's the same color, and you know, sometimes it has something to do with the fact that the Triforces and all the item drop rooms end up being the same.
No, that's a really good point. And those are flags that are randomized. Ganon being in Ganon's room, Zelda being in Zelda's room in level 9, and the Triforces being in their normal Triforce rooms. All of those are random, so they could be on, they could be off.
One could be on, the other 3 could be off. It's
yeah.
It's a toss-up. It's kind of fun. You never really know what in the world you're going to get, and it's good to remember that when you're doing so, when you're playing or watching random percent, it's kind of good to keep an open mind, because even though you may have every indication that a heart shuffle is off, there could just be a single item that has actually shuffled. As we're going to find level 5 under a burn bush in the forest.
Oh wow, we're finding all the levels quickly. I feel like I've seen that happen before, where everything but like 1 or 2 items was shuffled, but they shuffled to their normal places. I seem to remember that.
I think that was like a glitch having to do with the shuffle dungeon locations amongst dungeon locations flag. As CaffyJD is going to go ahead and find his wood sword all the way up in the top corner of the map. It's going to be a while until we get there, I think.
Wow, that's rude. Just how can we put this as far away from you as humanly possible?
I mean, that's about as far as you can get from their starting screen for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if it was any further, it'd have to be in Zelda 2. So yuck.
Yeah, see, there's no sword upgrades in Zelda 2. There's just attack. As CaffyJD is going to find level 1. This isn't the E. Well, no, maybe it is.
Oh, maybe.
I need to see a little bit more of this, because this could either be those 3 rooms on the bottom of Vanilla First Quest 1, or this could actually be part of the E.
And I think we may know here if, well, he doesn't have bombs. So, and you can't walk through walls in second quest 2.
Level 1. Yeah, second quest, level 1.
Correct.
We'll know what this staircase is here. If this is a transport, then there's a really good chance that we found a second quest level 1. Nope, we got shapes today.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow.
Well, we got a weapon.
So we're getting a lot of information quickly about level 1. It's shapes, it's segmented, and the bow, which is a vanilla level 1 item in first quest, is in level 1. So this is part of the challenge of random percent, is that you end up having to diagnose stuff on the fly. Hi, Whiz Robes.
Yeah, those don't usually show up in level 1. So this is at least a somewhat pleasant, maybe, change of pace, especially if they drop Caffy bombs. Orange Whiz Robes aren't terrible in dungeons, especially when you can kind of hide in a doorway and try to just, do the half-tile combat on them, because as long as you pay attention, you're not going to get hit, and it should be okay. There's also a chance they're going to drop him bombs, which is why he up-A'd from inside of the room and is going right back. He wants to see if they're bomb droppers today.
Yeah, and one of the things, that's a really good point, because one of the things that can't, Alsoa got sniped by an Armos. One of the things we don't know, there's a random flag that is potentially on, is whether bomb dropping groups or item dropping groups have shuffled. It seems unlikely at this point, given that Caffy killed those gels in that room and they didn't drop anything. But we have had a bunch of seeds in this tournament where things like gels and keys all of a sudden start dropping hearts and dropping rupees, and that's a telltale sign that our item droppers have shuffled.
Well, the funny part is you can actually have certain members of the drop groups just shuffle right back into the same drop groups.
You can, yeah.
It's kind of funny. It's like, okay, so this flag turns on, but at the same time, yeah, it's kind of confusing. Caffy's going to give up trying to farm bombs. He's already got the bow at a level 1. It's a decent piece of information, and I think that means that we have the Triforce from 2.
Yes, if it's shaped.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 and 3. Was it the top corner and the bottom corner?
No, it was the bottom left corner. So it's 3.
Then yeah, he's got 3.
And then if I had my Z tracker open, I could tell you whether it's 7 or 8.
I have mine open, but I couldn't see where that second Triforce was.
I think of that square, of the right-hand square in the meat of the triangle. It was the upper right square. I think that's 7 in shapes.
Yeah, that's 7 in shapes, but the split is actually levels 1 through 6. So 7,
right.
8, and 9 are going to be possibly going to be something completely different. So we won't know until we actually go back and see a little bit more of that 7 or 8 or 9.
Right, and if it's full shapes, if it shapes all the way through, then that's treated like first quest, right?
Yeah, then it takes the first quest position of level 7. But again, we're not going to know until one of these guys actually goes back into 7, 8, or 9 and spends more than like 30 seconds in the lobby.
Yeah, or if one of them buys the boomstick and the book is an atlas, then we'll have all the information eventually.
I mean, it's only 200 rupees. We've got first quest money. There's always a chance.
Exactly, and yeah, then it becomes a question of, okay, because you would think that, boomstick, that's going to be really handy at some point. Well, yes, and I've made this mistake in some practice seeds recently of buying. Actually, I think I made this mistake on a seed of the weekly of buying the book early and then wand being buried deep in 9, so it had very limited utility. It was a good idea at the time, but it in part becomes a question of, okay, where's the wand? If our items are in their normal dungeons, then the wand's in 6, but our runners are far away from knowing that for sure.
I mean, we have a hint in the fact that the power bracelet was underneath the Armos and that bow was in level 1, but that could just be, the randomizer being funny. Alsoa is one screen off of being able to get his wood sword, as CaffyJD is going to go into this level 5, which we now know is shapes. Yep, and Potato Pony bringing up a really good point. The white sword being the white sword does kind of also lend itself to that. Now, I don't think we've actually seen the coast, but if that ends up being a heart container on the coast, then I'm more than willing to bet that we're going to end up with vanilla placement. Sorry, I'm looking at these lovely, wonderful orange and red bubbles, which means that second quest enemies have in fact rolled on.
Yeah, that gets an ew from me. I am no fan of red bubbles. Speaking of Potato Pony, did you call the match last night between Potato Pony and Potato Failure?
Yes, as a matter of fact, both Alsoa and I did.
Oh, I am very jealous because of all the potential for potato puns. Did you get all the potato puns done?
We were just discussing potatoes. We had fun trying to debate what our favorite types of cooked potatoes were, because the punny wasn't there that night.
Okay, fair enough. There's a bomb upgrade.
Yeah, Caffy has managed to already get 8 bombs here. I didn't see what ended up dropping them, or if they were floor drops in one of these dungeons. But it's a good thing to note that some of these enemies that are mixed in, they're actually going down to a single sword, like the Zols. The second quest Stalfos is not so much.
Yeah, and because we've seen the blue and red bubbles, we know that Stalfos is a second quest enemy. That'll be on, as well as, what shape do we have here? Ooh, that is, what in the world?
That is like a running dude. Though I was going to point out the fact that we know that Stalfos was the second quest because he just shot a sword at Caffy.
Oh, yes, that too. Yeah, that's the obvious. That is the clear as day tell. Yes.
He's like, here, you look like you needed one of these. Caffey's going to try to bomb down. So here's the funny part about level 5. There are 3 old men rooms in level 5. And it always makes things really entertaining when they kind of roll either into a horizontal or vertical line. And you're just like, really? Thanks, guys. You're making this really, really fun to go through.
Yeah, and that can force, just depending on the shape of the dungeon, it can effectively force you to take the one guaranteed stair that's in level 5. That happens with some frequency in shapes.
Now, Caffey actually is in pretty good shape. He had a key to use on this key door. He's going to be able to clear this Dodongo room to see if this is his item staircase or potentially that transport staircase. And I think 5 looks like... Oh, that's a recorder. I think 5 kind of looks like the guy from Tecmo Super Bowl that Liquid Husband has for his sprite in game. Just, a little chubbier.
Oh, Bo Jackson. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. So Flute in 5, Bow in 1. And this is the challenge of random percent, is diagnosing on the fly what you're up against. That strongly implies that our items are in their vanilla dungeons. Oh, is Caffey going to be able to get this? Clip in there and get that key? Yes, he is. Very nicely done.
All right, so we do have 1 ladder block room here in 5. Also, meanwhile, he's going to go over, explore some more of this wonderful, lovely overworld. We're going to get a check at the Vanilla White Sword Cave. And comments being made in chat that apparently because the Wizrobes dropped 2 fivers for Alsoa instead of the bombs where they should have fallen into the drop pool means that the drop groups are shuffled and those orange Wizrobes not going to give us explosives.
Oh, that's unfortunate because, like you said, those guys are a really handy source of explodey things.
They really are. To answer a question in chat, both bow and recorder could be random to a vanilla spot. Yes, anything can actually randomize into their vanilla spots. It happens, every so often, but there have been a lot of markers that say that we probably have vanilla items, especially, you're mean, game. Give us our sword.
6
so the
hearts,
white sword item, 6 hearts. But the white sword being the white sword, we have recorder to unbeaten dungeons. Caffey just fluted to level 8. We don't have the Triforce for level 8. At least I don't think we do.
Probably
well,
not,
maybe, unless this is... Yeah, because it would have to be... Well, no, if this is Second Quest 8.
Oh, you're right, because that can go all the way down into the southwest corner of the available map space.
I mean, there's a good chance that Second Quest 8... Let's see where this one takes him, and if it's going to be level 3.
Well, he fluted 3 times, so that'll take him to 4?
No, it's recorder to unbeaten dungeons.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. He has 3, so he fluted 3 times, 1 to 2 to 4. And yeah, that's where he's going. I thought he would go to 1 and just wrap that up real quick.
Well, 4 is going to get you, I believe, the ladder.
Oh, yes.
So that's a really nice thing to have, especially before you start digging a bunch of dungeons, because it's going to be less likely that you're going to end up blocked. But Caffey being able to pull that recorder so quickly out of that level, this is going to kind of put him ahead.
Yeah, this is a check that Alsoa was not going to be able to do for a while. Now, okay, we have a stair here. Are we segmented in 4? That's a pretty early stair.
I mean, level 4, every so often you get like a 2-room surprise. But yeah, it does look like we're going to end up being segmented in this level 4. Alsoa, meanwhile, is going back into level 5. Now, this is good for him. We know it's good for him as long as he can get to the recorder and remembers to actually use it.
Yeah, that is a nice surprise when recorder takes you to unbeaten dungeons.
Especially unbeaten new location, because it can take you to unbeaten dungeons, but sometimes it takes you to the unbeaten vanilla locations and you're kind of just out of luck.
Yeah, and then it has diminishing utility the more Triforces you get. Oh, Caffey got bodied by a Guria, so back to start he goes.
All right, so this is actually good for Alsoa. He does have the 4 keys that are going to be necessary to get through that mugger room. He doesn't have the money to be able to buy the bomb upgrade, though. And I want to say that the staircase we need to go through was blocked by Dodongos.
I think you're right. It's this room here, and it's 3 Dodongos. So unless he's able to get bombs in this room down here, which is going to be difficult with the river, he's not going to be able to make a whole lot of progress in here.
Yeah, plus we know that that room's going to go ahead and drop a key, and sadly it's not going to drop us any bombs. So if we're also, what we need to happen right now is we definitely need a bomb dropper somewhere in this dungeon. Oh, there we go.
Ooh,
all right, also, that's good.
Spoke it into existence.
I mean, we just got lucky that the Zols actually didn't roll out of their normal drop group. Because Zols, as long as you kill them in one hit, will actually drop you bombs. Now, Caffy found a compass here in this level 4. We're going to find the tea room. Also, is going to get a little bit trolled by this Sidongo. He should be okay, though, as long as he gets the bomb refill off of that guy.
There we go. He's got it.
Alright, we've got... Oh, this is a lovely room, especially with bubbles and a single heart. Caffy's got to be really careful because those bubbles can take away his sword, and he's already kind of tried bombing them a couple of times. They're a little tanky.
Yeah, I think they're 6 HP, and I don't remember if that's normal or not. Oh, this room. This room could be our stair, but this room sucks.
Yeah, this room is not nice. Well, this would, well, we just had to take a bubble hit. It's okay. Maybe this will end up being, like, some form of transport. The other end of the transport, and then we can get the item. Or it's going to be our ladder. That works, too.
Hey, that's a fair trade. Because you can up an A and get your sword, save and get your sword back. But there's only one of those ladders in all of Hyrule.
Alright, so this is really good for Alsoa. He now has the recorder. So as long as when he is done here in this level 5, he remembers to play the recorder on the overworld, then we are in good shape.
Absolutely. So Alsoa is going to up an A because he got stuck in that room and couldn't bomb up. He realized he has to go up from this room and bomb across to get those other 2 rooms that he hasn't seen yet.
Caffy running around on the single heart is making me a little bit nervous here.
Yeah, especially because it's Goria's. I know everyone complains about Wizrobes beaming you in the face, but I have been... Hey, bombs!
Yeah, we want those.
Yeah, but I've been bodied in the back too many times by a boomerang from a turn and fire blue Goria that I'm just like, no, thanks. Triforce is in our Triforce room.
Yeah, that I think we saw that in one of the smaller levels they were already in. Alsoa plays the recorder, takes the flute, and should now have the information that this is recorder to Unbeaten Dungeons. So we're about to see him play that flute like 8 times. I believe both of our runners have actually seen level 9.
Yeah, it was at the vanilla potion shop that's just southwest. Directions are hard. Of Vanilla 4.
So this is right now this is going to come down to, are any of the dungeons blocked by any of the other items? Like, do we need a power bracelet to find some of them? Do we need that ladder to find some of them? It's kind of gonna depend upon what happens in the dungeons as to who makes it into 9 first. Oh, level 2 looks like one of those guys from the game where you throw people out of the spaceship, out of the airlock.
Oh, Among Us.
Yeah, one of those guys. Now, sadly, this is a very mean room for poor Alsoa, and he's going to have to try to kill it again.
Yeah, and it's a necessary room because we're segmented. And it's annoying. You want to get him in one shot if you can, but when you have Wood Sword and you don't get him in one shot, then you're playing this game and just praying that he got bodied and
that manhandle is just not cooperating at all. Caffy makes it through this room full of orange dark nuts, so that's pretty good. He's Alsoa's gonna be like, all right, I'll come back later. If I'm Alsoa, I want to find like a couple more hearts and maybe a better weapon, and then come back and try. Oh, look, it's the second quest arrow.
Oh wow, okay, and this confirms we're mixed quest overworld then.
Well, the color of the dungeon entrance at Vanilla level 3 confirms that we were mixed quest.
Yeah, and I always forget that if it's brown, I have to come up with some sort of mnemonic device to remember that.
I just write it down on the notepad that lives next to my desk. I like this from Alsoa. If this is vanilla, and we are assuming that this is vanilla item placement, then this would be the wand. which would be a very, very nice damage upgrade for Alsoa. Especially since we know the white sword is going to be 6 hearts because the game is mean.
Yeah, but if you get, as we're about to see what 6 looks like, and ooh, that is a,
It's actually small.
That's not terrible.
That's small.
It's a thick drill. That's what that looks like.
It's okay. I was going to say it's a cranky old guy with a really long pointy nose.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Waldorf or Stadler from the Muppet Show.
Yeah.
All right, meanwhile, Caffy is not having a lot of fun here in this level 2. Level 2, you're looking for a floor drop. He's actually just trying to find his way into the Triforce room, I imagine.
Yeah.
So we haven't actually seen a Triforce room, have we?
No, and he's seen a good chunk of 2. Yeah, you would have to think the runners are assuming at this point that it's vanilla items in their vanilla dungeon. So that would be why he hasn't cleared out any of the red Dark Nut rooms. He could be... it would be tempting to clear out some of these rooms and try and get a heart container so you can get the white sword, but the 8 rooms, back-to-back rooms of 8 red Dark Nuts is time-consuming. It's not terrible, but it is time-consuming.
Now that's interesting. We've got Spiky kind of just in one of the double moat room. We've got the bats guarding the top half of level 2 here.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen up here.
And we know that Zelda is not going to be in Zelda's room today. So Alsoa also knows that he has to take I believe, either transport staircase or bomb north out of one of these rooms that he's next to. And yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Smile Fires in chat is saying that the Triforce room is not in the Triforce 2. Yeah, I don't think it is either. He just found the compass. So that could actually just mean that we're going to end up having to clear a couple more rooms than normal in some of these other dungeons.
Yeah, I think the Triforce room in 2 just had 4 bombs sitting on the floor.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was there. It still had a drop at least. And those bombs are coming in really handy as Caffy is bombing away these lovely orange dark nuts.
Yeah, I think he was hoping to not have to do that. Well, he's going to get rewarded with the Triforce right here, though, in the tail of the whatever under the A, whatever the tail of the Among Us guy is called.
I don't know. Do they have tails? I just figured that was like because some of them have like really funky looking hats. I just figured it was a funky looking hat.
Oh yeah, I mean, I suppose I suppose every spacesuit has to have a release in the back. But
also we're getting a nice bomb. I think it was a force off of one of those blue dark nuts here in this 16 block room. I think it's 16.
Quick math. Looks like 18.
Okay, I was close-ish.
It's Thursday night. No one does math on Thursdays.
I leave the math to the guy who happens to be in the race right now. So you know, that's not going to do me much luck here.
Yeah, no. Birds do math. That is correct.
He also does geography.
Does he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was doing all the map stuff for me last night. I was just like, okay, this is good. Sadly, this is not the room that Alsoa is looking for. We're going to get a key here for Caffy as he's working his way through level 1. Now, this level 1 should actually confirm, as long as Caffy clears most of it. This should confirm for us 2 things. Whether or not it is, in fact, that wand pretty much cements that it's vanilla items, but I was going to leave it for a moment there and think that maybe it wasn't.
I mean, it still could be. It's very unlikely.
I mean, we're running out of we're running out of coincidences. Oh, those whiz ropes in 1 though. Yuck.
Oof, on wood sword, they're just a pain in the butt. But yeah, that would be very funny if everyone goes to 9 looking for silvers and it's double bananas. But those are long odds.
All right, Alsoa has the wand and the Triforce out of level 6. Now that wand is going to do really good work for him. It really, really is. He is going to have damage upgrade. He's going to have a weapon even when he gets hit with those orange bubbles. And other than the whiz robes in a couple of these dungeons, this is going to help. He's going to be able to walk up, wand this manhandle to death for 1.
Yeah, I was just going to say that solves this immediate problem. I was going to say just as he gets the wand, now he one-shots the manhandler, but he's got it down to 1. He did. He got very close. And he's got it now.
Close. Oh, look, he's even going to get a bomb refilled. Caffy is going to get the Triforce out of the NSU room here in level 1, and he's going to be leaving. Now, Caffy still only has 4 hearts. We have the information that white sword item is going to be 6 hearts. So at the moment, this wand is actually really good for Alsoa. Looks like Caffy's going back into 5. I think he probably wants to get the Triforce and then just be done with this level 5. And he's got the money for the bomb upgrade, which is also pretty nice. Well,
Yeah,
I
and
mean, even if it's only 2, that's at least 2 more bombs that you can carry that you couldn't before.
It is, and that's going to be the question, I think, for the... Well, it's less of a question for Alsoa, because he has the wand, but do you do the bomb upgrade, or do you wait for Boomstick?
I think since Alsoa already has the wand, if he comes across the money, he'll get the boomstick, but I don't see him making it a, like, must-have, you know, beginning and end of the seed.
Yeah.
I think he will probably just try to get through these dungeons as fast as he can, because, again, he knows who he's running against.
That's
they
true.
both know who they're running against, and on any given day, these guys could take a race from each other, no problem.
Yeah, and that's a good deal. Caffy got a good deal for the bomb upgrade. 102 rupees for 5 bombs is a discount price.
Very nice. That is definitely better than +2. See, look at this. This room that was such a pain in the neck for Caffy to clear with all of those gorillas. Also is just like, all right, I'm good. I got a wand. Let's go. This should be, I believe, the item.
Yeah, it is. So he's going to be very happy to trade wood sword availability for this ladder right here. So now that's going to open up some things. Have we seen the coast yet?
I don't believe they've actually made it over there yet. That heart would actually get Alsoa the white sword. That heart would actually get Alsoa the white sword. So here's the really nice thing about the white sword and the wand. If you do both inputs, A and B, on the white sword and the wand, or even the wood sword, mags, and the wand, at the same time, you get both the damage from the sword and the wand at the same time. So you're doing, like, it just doubles your damage output. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really handy when you have beefier enemies to be able to stack that damage. And Alsoa is 2 rooms away from the Triforce. He's going to pick that up here and call it quits in level 4 probably. I don't think he's going to stick around to try to get that heart container out.
I really don't see him doing that. No, I think if he really wants the white sword, he will screen scroll over. He'll do the world wrap over from that desert spot and go pick it up. Caffy, meanwhile, gets the Triforce out of level 5 and is on his way to... Where are we now?
I think that's 8.
Okay.
So this is 6. Yeah, 6 is up at the arrow.
Alright, so Alsoa is now whistling. Sadly, we couldn't hear how many times Alsoa blew the whistle, but he is now heading into level 8. Which that really rude Lionel was just barely out of the way for us to be able to get it.
Yeah, and maybe we'll get some information here about whether this is shapes all the way through or whether we are dealing with second quest 7 through 9.
This has to be, if we whistled to 8, this kind of has to be shapes, I would imagine.
I would think, but I have been wrong more than a little trying to decipher all these flags.
Alright, we got a heart on the floor, so Alsoa is now eligible to pick up that white sword, which, you know, maybe when we head into 9, he'll pick it up before he goes in.
Okay, and we are shapes because that old man room opened up a 3rd column from the far left. So yeah, this has to be shapes all the way.
Okay. Alright, so Alsoa, he's gonna work on just clearing, you know, as much as he can. I would want the any key. I'm not sure I would actually want the large shield if I'm Alsoa because, you know, it's nice, but you get eaten by a pancake and then it goes away.
Yeah, most of our runners are not fans of the big shield. I don't mind it. It's, you know, I'm not going to turn it down, but when we have Boomstick on, that is the item that swaps out. Hey, any key.
Now that is exactly why Alsoa was digging staircases, is because he wanted the any key. He hasn't really had a lot of key doors he couldn't get through, but I mean, this just eliminates them completely. And Caffy is going to be digging here in 6 for just a little bit longer. Alsoa still has to go back and clean up levels 1 and 2, but I can't see that taking, you know, overly long.
No. This Caffy has a lead right now, but by no means is it an insurmountable lead. These are 2 really good runners, and 9 can do 9 things, as we often like to say. So this is definitely still anybody's race.
Alright, so meanwhile, Alsoa is gonna clear that. Well, he was working on clearing that room and then he decided against it. Whizrobes. Oh, evil jerk faces.
Yeah, that's one of the worst rooms to deal with Wizrobes in because they just like to bounce between blocks a whole ton. What's 8 look like? Oh, hello, Gonzo maybe?
Yeah, I mean, we already had Waldorf for Stadler, so I mean, Gonzo would just be like the next logical progression.
Yeah. So that we'll have it would be fitting then to have a Miss Piggy for level 9.
Okay, maybe. Caffy is meanwhile going to find his wand, which was only one room away from that Triforce in level 6, and this is going to be the damage upgrade that he's been lacking. Now, Alsoa does have a couple more hearts. Oh, this room is terrible. You have to bomb up here, I do believe, to get out of that bottom row.
Yeah. It wouldn't be bad if you didn't get shuttered in from behind. It would be manageable to just use door strats there in the Chevy room, but once you're locked in from behind, you have to do some fancy footwork to get out of the way.
All right, Alsoa, meanwhile, he's going to up an A. He's going to pick up that white sword. That would definitely help against those Wizrobes in level 8. Now, I'm kind of just waiting to see if we end up like Goma blocked in one of the like 8. Maybe there's a Goma or something in there. Because otherwise, Caffy is going to find that Triforce and he's going to be in 9 before, we can blink.
That's true. We have not been able to tell whether extra bosses is a flag that has been turned on. It is possible to be on in random percent, but we don't know if it's on yet.
Yeah, we really haven't seen enough of the smaller dungeons, but I don't remember there being a ton of bosses here in this level 2.
Yeah, that's. I'm thinking the same thing. That we haven't been blown away with like 3 Patras in a row or something ridiculous.
Yeah. To answer a question in chat, we have actually seen an arrow shop. I think it's the same one with our bombs because the bombs are 20 and the arrows are 80, which I believe is the vanilla price.
Yes, it is. I don't remember where we saw that shop, but I believe we've seen at least one of those.
And this is actually really good for Alsoa. He is clearing these orange darknet rooms as he comes across them, so he might not even make it all the way up into the top of level 2 if he finds the orange darknet room that contains the Triforce.
Yeah, him having the damage upgrades here. Caffy was in here when he just had wood sword, so it took him a little longer to get through. Meanwhile, Alsoa should be able to take care of this room in pretty short order, given the offensive capabilities he has.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a wand and he's got white sword. Hey, there's a blue boomerang hanging on the floor. He's just going to walk away from it. Now, this is going to send him, if he continues to finish checking the bottom here of level 2 instead of heading north, he's 2 rooms away from the Triforce.
Right. It's in the little tail of the guy.
Yeah, it's in whatever that thing is.
Yeah, the exhaust port? I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. But yeah, if he clears this room and then proceeds to the left, he'll have his Triforce and be done.
All right, we're about to see if it was actually a Goma. Ooh, it is. It's a Goma block in level 8. That's why Alsoa left. That's why we couldn't go any further. He's going to have to be able to find the money to buy those arrows because, as we already know, you can't bomb through the old man.
Not yet, anyway. We haven't figured out a way to do that. But the good news is, I think we've only seen maybe one large secret, if we've seen any at all.
I mean, Alsoa's got 42 rupees, Caffy's got 33. Caffy's about to get the really sad news that he does not have enough hearts to pick up this white sword. But again, he's a little sad there. He does have the wand. So damage-wise, he's still doing really well. It's just, oh look, that's the arrow shot, by the way.
Aha! That explains some things.
Yeah, we just need the money to be able to buy those arrows. And Caffy is either going to go money-making game, or he's going to start checking any spots he can, trying to find just a couple of secrets to get the arrows, which Alsoa can now afford almost to buy.
Yeah, and that whistle at that 2Q whistle spot tells me, and yeah, him burning this bush, he's fishing for Caffy's fishing mainly for money just like this, or, if he's close, he might also be looking for a casino to see if he can get that last 17 rupees.
I mean,
for the arrows.
It would probably be faster. Yeah, there's a Goma block in level 8. It would probably be faster if you... Oh, gosh, up and out of that. It would probably just be faster to go kill a couple of guineas.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, and that was quick thinking by Caffy to up an A before that very short old man message ended, and it cost him 20 rupees.
All right. Also, meanwhile, is heading back in the direction of level 5. He has to go get the Triforces out of level 5 and level 1 and somehow make it back into 8 and get to the Triforce if he really, is going to stand a chance the rest of this in the race. Also, now has his arrows, which means he can get the Triforce out of level 8.
Oh, hey, by the way, we found level 3, which neither of our runners will ever go in, but there it is at 127.
Yeah, we really don't have a reason to.
No.
Oh, potion shop. Really, game? Caffy's just like, all right, come on. Can I please have this last little bit of money? All right, I think we're about to see the world rep to get that last heart.
Oh, well,
we were, and then the game was funny. We're gonna see him maybe come back out of this, and then do the world rep to go get that last heart, which will get him the white sword, which will even up the damage.
Yeah, that'll be a big help. And while he's over there on the coast, he might check that cave that's right below this screen, just to see if he can also get enough money to be able to, while he up and A's and goes back to start, also get his arrows in one fell swoop.
All right, so Alsoa, meanwhile, is only a couple of rooms away. He no longer has a sword because he got red bubbled, but he is moving as quickly as he can to get the Triforce here in level 5, knowing that this is recorded to unbeaten dungeons, knowing how fast he ended up with the recorder. He has to think that maybe Caffy's already in level 9.
Yeah, this is one of those seeds where knowing your opponent's capabilities, you start to sweat a little bit because you're 40 minutes in and you're looking like, okay, my opponent's really, really good, and oh no, so close.
All right, Alsoa's got his Triforce at level 5. He's just around the corner from level 8. I imagine he's going to go dig level 8, finish digging level 8 before he goes to level 1. So if you're Caffy, right now, you really need the game to start dropping you 5ers or giving us secrets.
Yeah, why did the orange moblins have to be in the health dropping group? No, we wanted money.
I mean, for the most part, that's not a terrible thing. Let's see. We've got a bunch of keys here. Now, this is a rather large level 8, so unless the Triforce is... Yeah, so you don't need that. You got the any key. Unless the Triforce is, like, really close to where he is right now, this could still take Alsoa a while.
Yeah. Has Alsoa bought arrows?
He already did. He's also
good.
been farming money so that he actually has money to be able to shoot the arrows, which is a good plan.
Yeah, you do need a little bit of that.
Just don't die to the Wizrobes, and we'll be fine. The game's like, here, I'm gonna give you a pity key. Caffy blows the recorder and then it goes, oh wait, I have 6 hearts, I'm gonna go get that white sword.
Yeah, right. And he's gonna immediately up a save, and then probably go, well, he just needs 2 rupees.
He's still 2 rupees away. Oh, also it takes an unfortunate death here too. I didn't honestly see what it was in level 8.
Whatever it was mean. That's all we know.
I mean, because poor Caffy is still just trying to find those last 2 rupees so that he can buy... What the heck, game? He can go buy his arrows, and then he can join Alsoa in digging this level 8.
Yeah, Alsoa's getting money like it's candy, and Caffy can't buy a rupee for all the gold in the world.
Meanwhile, Alsoa's going to take a slightly different path to get back to where he was when he died. He's finding a ton of keys, so apparently if we were key-starved, level 8 would have been the place to be, and chat's telling me it was probably a Wizrobe. I would believe that, especially since I couldn't actually see it on the screen, because sometimes they are a little bit difficult to see at first.
Yeah, on the restream, yeah, sometimes they flicker.
There you go, Caffy. We now have enough rupees to buy arrows, and I think this is an arrow shop.
Yes, it is. And he has 1 arrow to shoot. He can fire it once.
Yeah, don't miss. He's gonna farm these blue Octoroks to try to get another. There you go. We got a 5er. That's good.
He's set for the game now.
Well, we'll see.
Maybe.
We still have to dive level 9 for silver arrows, and it's quite possibly a Wizrobe dungeon.
Yeah, that's looking kind of likely.
I mean, we haven't had vanilla enemies in the dungeons because we have Wizrobes in 8 instead of Wizrobes in 6, but you can have, I think it's up to 3 dungeons with the same mob set.
Yeah, and we saw Wizrobes in 1, too. We saw orange Wizrobes in 1, I think.
You know what I haven't actually seen? I actually, maybe they're on the overworld. Have you seen Lionel's?
Yeah.
Did they end up on the overworld?
They did. There's one on the White Sword screen.
Jerk face.
Yeah, but there haven't been many of them, though, so that makes... Because we haven't seen very much of Death Mountain at all. I'm wondering if maybe they're concentrated up on Death Mountain.
Alright, so Caffy's gonna check this stair, and then he's gonna start clearing these rooms. We know from Alsoa's side that the Triforce wasn't in any of these immediate rooms.
Yeah,
and Alsoa is very fast running out of territory here in level 8.
Yeah, is it in the nose of
that would be
Gonzo?
That would be fitting. That would definitely be fitting.
Yeah.
We just have to be really careful. This would be a very terrible place to take a death.
Okay, it's only 3 rooms over here, so hopefully it's not that... Okay, this is a good enemy set.
He's gonna go ahead, bomb the wall. He's gonna get some more bombs back. We got a key, so we're just trying to dodge this guy and not take too much damage because this should maybe be the Triforce. Well, I mean, they're robo-snakes. Oh, jeez, Alsoa.
Oh my gosh, that was very... Yeah, just get in the line and beam the bejesus out of these guys.
Okay, This is not the Triforce. It's got to be one of the rooms... Oh, it could actually be the room that Caffy's in right now. Because we didn't see Alsoa clear this.
Yeah, has he been up to the top left?
He died. He took a death before he could make it into the chute room. Which sadly is not going to end up being the room that we need, but there is a chunk of rooms right above this that Alsoa didn't make it into. Oh, nice bomb from Caffy.
Wow, right along the wall, too. Very nicely done.
Alright, now if he goes right, he's going to be in the rooms that Alsoa did not make it into because of that death. We're going to find the compass, and it's that room that Caffy tried to bomb into from the top, but couldn't actually get into. Alsoa's about to try to bomb in here now. Wait, why? I thought Alsoa... Didn't Caffy try bombing that?
I thought he did.
Maybe he just got stuck fighting the Wizrobes. Oh, speaking of Wizrobes, hi guys!
Ooh, not a fun room. Oh no!
No,
Alsoa, go back! That's where it is!
No!
Oh, well, the good news is the Triforce is 2 rooms up from where he is. So if he continues up, he'll find the compass. And no, he has to go right back down.
Yeah, but the thing is Caffy just needs this Triforce, and he's heading into level 8. The main chance for Alsoa to stay in this race without 9 doing some incredibly terrible 9 things was for him to get this room on the first try.
Yeah. Oof.
Now, granted, Caffy also only has 6 hearts. He does have a potion. He does have a ton of bombs, but you're dodging these Wizrobes in a maze room, and they don't seem to have rolled down.
No, I hope they haven't rolled up for the runner's sake. Ooh, he got bodied.
Good job, Caffy.
That was so close.
Though I do want to say, I thought that Caffy, the first time he was in that room, that he had actually bombed that.
I thought so too, and I don't know if that was a glitch. I mean, I thought he was lined up on the right pixel.
Anyway, Caffy is on his way to level 9. Yay! He's gonna up a save because we still have to dig silvers out of level 9. But look at that key count. That is 14 keys.
Yeah, I don't blame him one bit for skipping the any key. When you have 14, I don't care how bad level 9 is. It's not going to eat 14 keys.
Are you knocking on wood?
Well, I say that, but we also haven't seen a mugger yet. And muggers do like to take keys.
Alright, bbq.gov, we are entering level 9. Other than silver arrows, which are required to finish the game, what are we looking for here in level 9?
We are looking for 2 things. 3 if you count the silvers. But we are first looking for the Ganon's room. We're looking for the Roar of Ganon, which can be heard in any... If you are orthogonally adjacent to Ganon's room, you will be able to hear his roar unless there is a boss in that room. You'll need to clear that boss and then exit and re-enter the room in order to be able to hear the Roar of Ganon. That tells you you're 1 room away. The other thing we're looking for is Zelda. She is hidden behind a room that is blocked by a single shutter door in 1 or more directions. So you will see Caffy in rooms that have a single shutter door that is closed. Clear that room in order to see if that adjoining room is where Zelda is located. Once you've beaten Ganon, hey!
Did you know that reverse that remove most open staircases was on this entire time?
I had no idea. That's news to me.
Yeah, remove most open staircases has been on this entire time. So Alsoa is trying to bomb these orange wizards, hoping they will drop him some more bombs. We have, in fact, seen Zelda's room, so we know that they're not going to be in their vanilla rooms tonight.
Yes. So if Zelda had been in her normal room, you would only be able to enter that room from the south. But because we've already seen Zelda's room, we know you'll be able to enter Zelda's room from one or more of the 4 directions.
Unfortunately, also after 2 really good bombs, ends up taking a death to these blue wizrobes. He is gonna be momentarily leaving. We're near a bomb store. He can afford bombs.
Yeah, that's a good call. I mean, he might go to a fairy too, but I would get the bombs and just get right back in there.
I mean, I would just get 2 packs of bombs. Red ring and silver arrows are going to be in 9, and yes, red bubbles are a thing. So Caffy, whatever he does, needs to make sure that he has a sword when he reaches Ganon.
Small bit of irony I just noticed on Caffy's side. The likes, which never drop anything vanilla, are in the health dropping group, which makes me chuckle a little bit.
Yeah, I always like when they drop bombs, because you're just like, wait, what in the world is going on? You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it is fitting that, because normally pancakes don't have anything in real life, so it is weird when they contain explosives. I've never had pancakes with explosives in them before.
I mean, I like to put, bananas in my pancakes.
Yeah, bananas, blueberries, chocolate chip, firecrackers, bananas. No. Yeah, bananas are good.
Pop rocks. Ooh, also is taking all sorts of damage from these orange roots ropes. He's just hoping for a health drop, and the game is just like, no.
Yeah, he's going to use his bombs here. I like this strategy.
He's doing a great job. He's really doing a great job. But Alsoa still has to go into level 1 and dig the Triforce out, which we know was in this segment, kind of all the way at the side. CaffyJD has just found those silver arrows.
Yeah, boy, we are 50 minutes in, and Caffy is in go mode.
Alright, here we go. Now we are just listening for the roar of Ganon. Caffy has already found the princess, so he knows where she is. Also is going to buy more bombs because the recorder is going to take him directly to level 1, as it's the only level he has not yet completed.
Yep, and it's right up here at the vanilla letter shop. So he'll make quick work of this and head to 9, but Caffy's got a lead on him.
And no worries to our tracker in chat. We kind of all knew that he did because he got past the Goma in level 8. That or the program may have eaten it, because it gets hungry every so often. So, Alsoa doesn't know this. Was that a roar?
I didn't think I heard one, but it is possible.
Yeah, I think it was because Caffy just tried to bomb that right side wall. Ganon is to the right. Or, well, not the right, but... He might be to the right. He's above right now, and you can't bomb through the old man.
Yeah, so he's going to go around the other way and try and enter from the east.
And yeah, that is a good point in chat. So neither of our runners have a red ring. Caffy has half of a potion. So we're going to have to see, let's see. Well, we got a plain room with no floor, so as long as Caffy gets the stun lock and avoids the pile drivers, then we might be okay. It is not a 0 HP Ganon.
Oh, we just took a body shot there. He's one hit and he's done. Okay, but he has a potion and he's going to use it here.
Alright, well, come on, Ganon, stop dancing, man.
Boy, Ganon is not being cooperative tonight with stun locks. Oh, he may have to use his second one. Oh, nobody's got the stun lock now.
There he goes. Good job, Caffy. Now, apparently on the way into level 9, while we were watching Alsoa fight with those evil blue wizrobes, Caffy did stop and refresh his potion, which was a very good call.
Yeah, that was very, very smart and very needed. I know a lot of our really good runners are perfectly comfortable beating Ganon on 6 hearts with green tunic. I am not, but they are, and Caffy just showed you why.
Alright, Alsoa has his Triforce at a level 1. He's on his way to level 9, but sadly it is probably going to be a little too late, as Caffy is going to potion to get through this Patra.
Yeah, take no chances here. Kill this guy, go up north. You're so close, and you have no idea where Alsoa is if you're Caffy, so take no chances here.
All right, we're getting there. We're almost there. All right, we have to be. There we go. We have Zelda on the screen for CaffyJD, finishing with a race time, official time of 54 minutes and 15 seconds. So let's see some GGs in chat, guys.
Wow, that was a really good run. No slouch also. Also is in 9 now. To under-hour this was very impressive on Caffy's part.
All right, and a little bit of a spoiler. We do have the forfeit from alsoa after the death to that orange darknet room in level 9. Welcome and GGs to CaffyJD.
Thank you.
So, how about the bow blocked level 8?
I panicked after that. I immediately regretted purchasing the bomb upgrade. I'm glad I got it though, kinda, because needed a few bombs in 9. But yeah, that was a bit of a panic moment there for me.
Welcome and GGs to alsoa as well, who's going to be joining us.
GG's.
GG.
So I was just asking Caffy what he thought about that bow blocked level 8.
If you're asking me that, the bow block wasn't necessarily the issue. The fact that I saw every single room of that 8 and cleared every single room of that 8 was the issue.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to bring up the blue Wizrobe room immediately. But yeah, that level 8 was definitely a thing. I think we decided that it looked like Gonzo, because one of the other levels looked like Waldorf or Stadler.
Yeah, and you both spent a good amount of time in 8, just because 8 was a bit trolly. But yeah, Caffy, I mean, once you got things in order there, I mean, you put on the jets there in level 9 and found the silvers in relatively short order.
Yeah, glad that the first stair I took got me at least to her. Then it just kind of progressed naturally as no other stairs presented itself until I think the silvers, which is in the O column, I guess. So that was a bit fortunate routing in 9. Also, did we not start with a starting item? Did I?
No, you didn't actually. So one of the kind of quirkier bits about the flag set is that it's a possible starting item.
Oh.
So you're not always guaranteed to have a starting item. Just most of the seeds we usually do.
I was very annoyed by the 6-heart white sword.
Yes.
You both were.
Yeah.
Very much
back,
so.
I found the heart in, I forget which dungeon, but I upbeat immediately from there. I went to go check.
I think you both got your first hearts and you went back and checked. I think alsoa waited a little bit longer because he had taken an overworld death or something. But you both were just like, okay, can't have it at 4. And then alsoa got back to check at 5, and the game was still like, no. And then you finally got back to check at 5, and then it was still like, no. And it was like, all right, really, game? What the heck?
Yeah.
Though alsoa did end up pulling that wand out of level 6. He hit level 4. That Manhandler was just an absolute jerk. And then he was like, oh, I'm just going to record it to 6 and go get myself a better weapon, which was a very good call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Triforce room. That was nice.
Yeah, that was pretty. I thought it was one away, and then I was just like, oh wait, no, it is in this room. So it was like, a twofer.
I will admit, I played very badly this seed, just in terms of my combat wasn't there.
Well, I mean, you guys wouldn't. So when you realized that it was vanilla dungeon items, does that kind of like put a little bit of an added stressor on there, especially when you get the recorder at level 5, and it is in fact recorder to unbeaten new dungeons?
It definitely, I think, puts an extra time clock on your routing for sure.
Yeah.
You're not going to clear for hearts. You're not. You're just going to find staircases, maybe clear easy rooms for keys. But health was always going to be a problem in this kind of a seed. Shapes, I got trolled initially because I think did 2 laps in 2 trying to find the Triforce room. I found that my first Triforce happened to be in a Triforce room. I got trolled in 2, but once I figured that out, I knew I wasn't getting any health. So it does add a little bit more stress to your combat and your routing for sure.
Yeah, and you picking up the potion before you entered level 9 ended up being very helpful in the Ganon fight, both in the Ganon fight and in that Patra room after you beat Ganon.
Yeah, there was no need to grab any other hearts at that point. I knew Mags was out of the question, and I wasn't searching the overworld for that anyway.
It may have been smarter to look for a couple of money caves to try to get a potion or a boomstick.
Well, funny enough, I actually had to find some money caves for my arrows because I purchased the bomb upgrade in 5. My second time in because I was ladder blocked the first time.
Yeah, I didn't buy a bomb upgrade. I just didn't look for money, and I had like 20 rupees by the time I saw that I was arrow blocked in 8. So I'm like, okay, I guess I gotta go look for things. And then I got really lucky with a bunch of drops in 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there were like a couple of fibers on the floor and things. And Shaddy is expressing his displeasure in chat that you guys did not search for Mangs at all. He is very sad.
Sorry, I couldn't check for Mags at 5 hearts, Shetty.
I mean, Shaddy did in his race the other night.
He absolutely did. Did we even see Mags? I don't know that we did.
I don't believe we actually ever saw Mags, though. I have to say, the White Sword in the White Sword Cave, being one screen away from your start screen, that was like a very nice present.
Yeah.
A very nice present you couldn't open right away until like after Christmas.
Yeah, like, or it was one of those presents where they put like 6 layers of wrapping paper on it.
And then some duct tape just for fun.
Yeah, and then there's a padlock that you have to solve a math equation to get the combination for.
A box
Yeah,
inside
yeah.
of a box inside of a box.
And then, just some random little bits of things so that it rattles when you go to shake it, if you're a present shaker.
And also there's a cat attacking you the whole time.
Wait, Gwaelin made it to your house?
Apparently?
Oh, okay. I mean, she wished both of you luck and then she disappeared, so now I'm slightly worried. But anyway, so you both actually played really well. There were some not so nice rooms, like that blue Wizrobe room that was the Triforce in level 8. We think they rolled up, but we weren't entirely sure.
I wasn't counting. It may have been laying some bombs, kind of just made that room a little bit easier for me.
But yeah, there was the blue Wizrobe room in there, and then level 4 was segmented, and that Manhandla, the first time alsoa went in there, that Manhandla was like the biggest jerk on the face of the planet. Like, he would get him down to a single petal, and the guy just wouldn't die.
Yeah, and I thought it was 0 HP bosses because the landmos were going down to a candle and a wood sword, so I'm like, okay, this is 0 HP bosses. Cool, Manhandle is free. Wait, why didn't it die?
Yeah, it just was not cooperating in the least. It was like, all right, thanks, game.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I got 3 petals down, decided to sword down the last one thinking it's 0 HP. It didn't die. I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah, it was definitely an adventure. Though, I mean, so were you relieved not to have to see any second quest? Because when the first time you guys went into 7 or 8, we weren't entirely sure because we couldn't really see enough of it. And then you guys dipped in and out of 2 so quickly. It was like, well, I mean, maybe.
I wanted more second quest.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe next time.
Shapes presents its own difficulty, like I said, with the heart drops and the Triforce drops, things like that. The second quest might have been a little bit more welcome, but if there were Wizrobes in second quest 8 like there were in this dungeon, it would have been a horrible time.
Yeah, I think Wizrobes in second quest 8 would just be like nightmare fuel.
Especially because 8 has 10.5 million stairs, so you probably have to clear the Wizrobes.
Yes, very true. That would be highly unfortunate. But all right, guys, I'll go ahead and ask, is there anything you are hoping for next week? Or, anything you really just hope doesn't happen?
In terms of what I want more 2Q, and I don't want to see +/- 4 HP enemies.
You don't want tanky bats?
No.
But what if they drop bombs when you finally manage to kill them?
I mean, I'd be okay with bats dropping bombs, but I don't need them to be, you need a bomb to get a bomb off them.
Well, I mean, what if the game gave you a really early wand?
Yeah, okay, fine.
Okay, so second quest with really tanky bats.
I would like to see item shuffle, and maybe
Yeah.
record to not unbeaten, since I've had 2 seeds in a row this way. So adds a little bit of extra nerve for routing.
Well, yeah, I think what would have gone through my head is the phrase "I can't go fast enough." Like
Yeah.
recorder to unbeaten new locations, I would have just been like, "Oh no."
Yeah, that was our match, right, Caffy? The recorder to unbeatens, and yeah, when I found that, I had the exact same thought of, oh hey, this is handy. Oh wait, Caffy's got that too. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's nerve wracking, but it does make for some fast seeds, which is nice.
It
Well,
definitely
I
did.
mean, every so often, that's okay.
Yeah, these don't all have to be 3-hour slogs. We certainly appreciate you guys putting on a really good effort here and getting us through a jet seed in relatively short order. So GG's to you both.
Thank you guys for comms and tracking and restream. You guys are all amazing. Love what you do. Keep it up.
Yes, thank
Hey,
you.
it's our pleasure. But all right, speaking of other races, so I believe both of these are already in progress, but on Z1R Randomizer, we have Sausage Link taking on Malkier, and then over on SpeedGaming 2 should be Vincent246 taking on Ice Blue.
Those are 2 really good races, and I believe we have 4 races tomorrow night as well, so no shortage of Z1R random percent action this weekend.
Yeah, totally. But I'll go ahead and say a big thank you to Smilefires for doing our tracking in the background. Thank you to Caffy and alsoa for putting on one heck of a race, and thanks to bbq.gov for hanging out.
Yeah, thank you, CD. Always a pleasure to do comms with you. And Caffy and alsoa, great job tonight to you both. Thanks for putting on a fun show, and best of luck in the rest of the Swiss rounds.
Thank you, and GG's again.
Yes, thank you. GG's also, and good luck to you guys for the rest of the week.
Hey, I'm just really glad that I'm not in either of your groups. Because I'd be sad. But anyway, you guys, have a good night, and I'll catch you later.
Good night.
Good night.